Welcome to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Another picture-perfect day here in Baton Rouge as we get set for the first of 3 games today at Tiger Park. First up, the 1-0 game. Virginia Tech, the at-large out of the ACC, and the number 16 national seed and host LSU out of the SEC. Neither team yesterday gave up a run, and Virginia Tech scored plenty of them, highlighted by the first career Grand Slam for Kylie Aldridge, breaking the video board in right field on the way to a 6-0 win over South Alabama. And then Jade Heavner did enough in the circle herself. 11 strikeouts, tying her season high to take down the Zips in run rule fashion by a final of 8-0. And it sets us up for our bracket today, the first elimination game of the Baton Rouge Regional, coming your way after this with South Alabama and Akron. Hi there again, along with former All-ACC catcher Brittany McKinney, I'm Alex Perlman. How important is it to win this one for Virginia Tech and LSU? 89% of teams that have won the 1-0 game have gone on to the Super Regionals. It's an advantage that both teams desperately want.
Going into tomorrow, knowing you have to be beat twice by a team puts you in the driver's seat and just puts you that much closer to a Super Regional and a chance at a national championship.
Well, how has Virginia Tech gotten here? They can certainly pitch, but their offense is the storyline. 107 home runs this season, 5th in the ACC. They hit 2 more yesterday, and Jordan Lynch has been as big a part of that as anybody.
Yeah, and a lineup that's really hard to stand out in with all the power. Jordan Lynch has done that since the day she stepped on campus. As a freshman, she set the single-season doubles record, has tied that mark today, and you see her average over 400. She is a consistent player that brings a ton of power. But on the other side, she's going to have her hands full. Beth Torina has a 3-headed monster she can choose from in the bullpen. She goes with CC Salora today, and I kind of understand that because you want to beat Virginia Tech. You want a pitcher that can keep the ball in the park. CC Salora throws it hard, but she works the bottom half of the zone.
This should be an incredible matchup here with Virginia Tech and LSU with a spot in the regional final on the line. First pitch coming up from Baton Rouge after this.
The NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Let's meet the Virginia Tech starting lineup. It's brought to you by Capital One. Kylie Aldridge in the middle of everything yesterday with that grand slam that dented the video board. Addison Foster, Jordan Lynch, Rachel Castine moving up from 6th to 3rd. She swapped spots with Nora Abramovich in today's lineup for head coach Pete DeMoore. And in the circle, it's the San Diego State transfer, CC Salora, to try to quell this potent offense.
Yeah, CC Salora, you see just the 16 walks on the season, has great command of her stuff, and this is a Virginia Tech lineup that takes advantage of mistakes and free passes. That grand slam yesterday came after an error made at third base, so going with a sure arm that knows how to hammer the strike zone, particularly the bottom half.
Salora is ready. Foster as well. Strike one delivered, and we are underway here in Baton Rouge. So glad you're along with us. Alex Perlman, Brittany McKinney joining you from Tiger Park all day long. First of 3 games. This the 1-0, and then back-to-back elimination games to get down to 2 teams in the regional final. Whoever wins this one has their path set. And what it means is that in this double elimination format, whoever wins this game has to be beaten twice tomorrow in order to be knocked out of this NCAA tournament. Crowd's into it early here in Baton Rouge. Do another 0-2. LSU had Jaden Heavner in the circle yesterday with those 11 strikeouts, tying her season high. Another complete game shutout for her, number 5 of the season. Foster reaches out, smacks it deep center field. Not enough, though, as Lassiter backs up on it and makes the play for a loud first out.
And we mentioned it in the open. Beth Trina has 3 pitchers that she can choose from. Going with CC Salora, she throws high 60s, can hit 70, but I think she made the decision to go with Salora because of that drop ball down in the zone, looking to feed the infield ground balls, not allowing Virginia Tech to leave the yard, and that changeup is also going to be very important for her to keep these hitters off balance.
Jordan Lynch reaches out and chops it over to second, handed by Sierra Daniel, and there's quickly 2 away. Lynch is now 0 for 4 here in this Baton Rouge Regional. And someone that is coming into this NCAA tournament and game hitting .425. Keep her off the base paths, and you are doing something right. Rachel Castine now. Red hot as she moves up from 6th to 3rd, the highest in the batting order that she has been for Pete Demore all season long. Usually someone that hits in the 6 to 8 range.
When we talked to Pete yesterday about data, or 2 days ago, excuse me, the data and analytics definitely play a part in his decision with lineups and pitching, but he says it's a starting point. That's where we're going to start, then we're going to let the game feel. I'm sure he really liked the matchup with Castine against the LSU pitchers, and that's why the move was made.
Couldn't hold up her swing. Home plate umpire Gil Zayas says that indeed is strike 1.
And that was the changeup. First one we've seen this game. That's going to be oh so important for CC Salora in the circle.
Finds the outside corner. Yeah, that's about a 10-mile-an-hour difference from the hard stuff to the off speed, which of course can be all the timing that you need. To the right side, foul ground, long run, just out of Franklin's reach, and she goes hard into the wall.
Take a look. Franklin runs a long way here, reaches out. I was surprised she even got that close, sacrifices her body, but looks like she got up and is okay, but that was a hard hit into the wall.
They're going to make sure it was her left shoulder that went straight into that pattern. But thankfully, she is going to stay in this game. What a big part of yesterday's win she was. Had the solo home run that made it 4-0 and kind of cemented LSU's stronghold in that win over Akron, the MAC tournament champions. Got her on the outside corner. Virginia Tech set down in order by CC Salora. Tigers coming up to the plate next. starting lineup for LSU, brought to you by Capital One. Jayla Lassiter at the top of the order, followed by Sierra Daniel. Kylie Edwards had a couple of extra base hits in yesterday's win. And then Alex Franklin in the cleanup spot with that solo home run for Beth Torina. There's Kylie Edwards right next to her, the Mississippi State transfer who has made a real impact in her first year in Baton Rouge. Our first look in the circle for Virginia Tech at the two-way terror, Emma Mazzarone.
Yeah, she did not get the start yesterday, did not see her in game one. An extra day of rest for the hard-throwing Emma Mazzarone. She has been the ace of this staff, but complemented by a deep bullpen. So coming into postseason, probably fresher than she's been in a couple years, ready to get started in her first start today.
We talked about that three-headed monster for Beth Torina. Well, that is exactly what Pete Demore sports as well, with Mazzarone, Brie Carrico, the ACC Freshman of the Year, and Avery Layton, his options in the bullpen. Lassiter steps in, swings, flares it, right side, drops in for a base hit. LSU's early on in business here against the hard-throwing lefty.
Jayla Lassiter, the only hitter in the LSU lineup that did not record a hit, wastes no time to get her name in the book right here. First pitch she sees, down and away, goes with it, just drops it right in front of Mizell in right field, getting things started for LSU.
Lassiter's first hit in 4 opportunities of this regional. Sarah Daniel takes strike 1. Lassiter, the only LSU starter hitting lefties better than righties. 400 average against left-handers. It's going to go up with that base hit.
No wonder she was swinging first pitch. She loves to see a lefty in the circle. You can see the defense now for the Hokies kind of pulled in and tied up the middle, with Sierra Daniel being a triple threat. She can slap, she can bunt, she can hit it, slap for power. That speed that she has in the box pulls them out of position trying to defend.
Lets that one go by, gets the high strike call behind the plate from Gilzeas.
And that's the new pitch this season from Emma Mazzarone. It's the off-speed rise that she put in this fall, and it has been a difference maker for her. Usually hard and down, but now she can go soft and up. Really hard for hitters to recognize.
Cut on and miss, dialed it up to 72 on that one. And Daniel, the first strikeout victim of Mazzarone.
Emma Mazzarone says the first inning, her adrenaline's going. She's fired up. She had a little something extra on this pitch. It just falls off. The drop ball for strike 3 is set up by that off-speed rise. It is hard for hitters to make that in-bat adjustment.
Here is Kylie Edwards, 1 on and 1 out. Off-speed a little bit upstairs. Mentioned Edwards came over after 2 seasons at Mississippi State. Told us she transferred because her ultimate goal to win a national championship. The players and coaches made it easy moving from Starkville to here in Baton Rouge for her junior year. And we didn't have to wait long to see what Edwards was capable of. 2 for 4 yesterday with a double, a triple in her final at bat. But she's used to extra base hits. She hit for the cycle on April 3rd at Missouri. First LSU player had ever done it.
We talked to Kylie Edwards about the consistency she's having this year, and she mentioned that her hands would move a lot in her stance before she would get her swing going. Now, if you just watch, her bat rest on her shoulder, no margin for error. She just goes straight from the shoulder to contact.
3-0. Nice ball 4. That is an issue sometimes for Mazzarone, struggling with her control. Came into this game with 90 walks in 127 innings. That is an astronomical figure, to be quite honest.
It is, and being patient off of Emma Mazzarone is key, and no team does it better right now than LSU. They have a great awareness of the strike zone. It is hard to get them to chase.
Alex Franklin now. Can't ask for a much better start if you're Beth Torina, and to have Franklin at the plate. Out of Santa Mon, Louisiana, driven in 9 runs in her last 5 games. 5 in that 25-zip route of Auburn alone. Hot shot, gloved, tag second, Annika Rose. Double play all by herself. And Emma Mazzarone is going to owe her dinner after that spectacular play to end this bottom of the first.
Annika Rose in this defense gets Virginia Tech out of the jam. Pick up the bats, try and get on the board next.
Has led Virginia Tech to 7 straight NCAA tournaments. Last time that they were in a super regional was back in 2022. 2008, their only Women's College World Series appearance, trying to get to Oklahoma City. Maybe this is the year. After starting out red hot, they had a top 10 RPI for much of the year. Pushed Florida State, the number 9 overall seed this year in regionals, to a 1-run game in the ACC title affair, but ended up falling in that one. And Virginia Tech was kind of right on the bubble going into this NCAA tournament selection. Would they be a host? Would they not? Turns out they couldn't, because there's not enough hotels in the Blacksburg area with graduation going on. But this is a fearsome resume, and one of the reasons maybe this is going to be the best 1-0 game of the year.
Yeah, when the selections show came out and this regional came out, that was the game, Virginia Tech LSU matchup, that everybody was looking forward to, because they are so similar. They match up so well. They have 3 pitchers. They have complete lineups in the batter's box 1 through 9, and they're both having their best defensive seasons of the year. So just how equal they are, just knew this was going to be a phenomenal game. And talking with Pete Demore, he doesn't show a ton of emotion, but he did when he was talking to us just about how special this team is. You could just tell that he was just pleased and a little giddy, I would say, about how they get along, the chemistry, and he's been around the game long enough to know when there's something special, and he sees it here this year's Hokies.
Down the left field line, this is playable for Lorenz, who makes the grab in foul territory. There was a definite quiet confidence from Pete Demore when we've talked through him. Honestly, throughout the entire season, he has seen what this team is capable of, and they absolutely played that way. Not really doing much different from last year to this one, maybe. But sometimes, you have that je ne sais quoi, right? That everything comes together with the personalities. They all gel. And that's what we've seen here for Virginia Tech, and hoping to make a long run in this NCAA tournament. 1 out for Michelle Chatfield.
And I think even more importantly, to add on to that, it's a group of competitors too. He just talked about how they're all dogs. They have the dog juice in the dugout. But I mean, I watched them practice, and they did a little fun scrimmage where they'd self-toss to each other, and it got intense. They were going after it, even in a fun competition at the end of practice going to regionals. It was intense watching. I got into it. They were into it. Everything they do, they just compete and want to win, and that's what you want to see coming from your ball club.
Chatfield 5 for her last 13. And she pounds it into the ground on a hop to Avery Hodge. High throw, and she's safe. Error by the Oklahoma transfer. As it stands, Tori Edwards is motioning to Beth Torina that maybe to challenge this one because she thought she got her on Chatfield's elbow.
I think Beth's going to ask if the home plate umpire saw anything before she goes to a challenge, and I think we will have a challenge here.
Sorry. Crew Chief Chad Steers.
The ruling on the field is safe at first base. LSU is challenging this call. We are now under further review.
So the way that it works in the NCAA tournament is that unlike some conferences in the regular season, they are not looking at that video review here on screen. It's back in the NCAA Command Center in Pittsburgh that they are talking to, and they are the ones that are making that call. Let's take a look.
Plenty of time to make the throw. Nice job by Edwards to even get this ball. Comes down, only opportunity here. Nothing definitive to me on that angle.
It didn't look like she tagged any part of Chatfield there.
Let's see if she gets that left elbow. That is close. Does that elbow guard move? I think I see a little bit of movement, but that is tight.
Is that indisputable video evidence? The call on the field is safe, so it has to be indisputable.
And I think you might be able to dispute it, but to my eyes, common sense, I think, says she has her. And Tori Edwards immediately came up and was saying she hit the elbow of Chatfield. This will be good luck.
These are the very same looks that they're getting in Pittsburgh at the moment.
These are so close. A great challenge by Beth Torina, too, though. Virginia Tech, we saw it yesterday. South Alabama commits an error very next at bat, grand slam. You don't want to give anything for free here, even though just in the top of the second inning.
It's certainly worth using one of her two challenges here, especially with how adamant Tori Edwards was that she had indeed tagged her. Chad Steers to announce the call.
After review, the call on the field stands. Runner is safe. LSU loses one challenge. They have one remaining.
That was kind of what we figured might happen. The call stands. It wasn't confirmed, so They just could not tell. There wasn't indisputable video evidence to overturn that call on the field.
Yeah, I think saying, this call stands is exactly right. There wasn't enough to overturn it or even confirm. So we'll go with what's on the field.
So now, can Virginia Tech take advantage of the error by Hodge? Pop up to Daniel. And that certainly won't help as Abramovich is set down on one pitch. 2 away here in the second. How about Salora just going right after one of the best hitters on this Virginia Tech team, who certainly hits it the hardest. Virginia Tech actually keeps track of the highest exit velocity of home runs throughout the year. Nora Abramovich has 6 of the top 10 numbers.
I mean, the ball gets off her bat in a hurry when she squares it up, but Salora doing a nice job so far in this game, keeping the ball down, peppering the strike zone early.
Zoe Yeager fouls it off, and now she's down in the count. 0-2. But we got to see our first Yeager bomb of the weekend yesterday.
The first pitch she saw, low and inside, gets her barrel out, drives it over the left field fence. A ton of power and a pretty decent pitch that she was able to drive out.
0-2 to the Virginia Tech catcher. That one spotted just off the corner. Macy Bazaran behind the plate doing everything she possibly could to bring it back and get LSU back up to the plate. punched to Edwards. Virginia Tech has hit it hard, but right at a couple of Tigers in their first 2 innings. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Still looking for our first run. Beth Torina now in her 15th season at the helm of LSU softball. Just picked up her 600th win in March, and she'll continue to climb up this list because these legends, Skip Burtman, Dee Dee Bro, and Paul Maneri, are not going to add to them. What a career she has had here. And now you're number 15. So far this year, Jaden Heavner has been really the story in the circle with that 2.75 ERA, though a bevy of options for Torina. 27th overall NCAA tournament appearance, 20th straight bid for the Tigers. They have been to 6 Women's College World Series, including 4 that Beth Torina has taken them to. 2012, also 2015 through 2017. LSU looking to strike first against Virginia Tech. First pitch outside to Tori Edwards. 5, 6, and 7 coming up here in the second for LSU. Whipped in at 72 miles an hour by Mazaron. They really have to adjust for this heat today.
Yeah, you've got to be quick. You don't have a lot of time to make that decision. And that pitch right there, it is so special. She added that to her arsenal this year because you're speeding up these hitters when you're coming in at 72. Then you can pull 12 miles per hour off of that and throw it in the strike zone.
1 and 2 to Edwards. Tori Edwards had to leave their SEC tournament second round loss to Georgia after colliding with Peyton Monticelli. It looked like she hurt her shoulder, but started yesterday and seems just fine, which is very good news for LSU fans. 73.
In on the hands. You're not comfortable in the box against Emma Mazaron. You know, we mentioned about her free passes. You know, she's got a bit of effectively wildness to her too that just makes hitters just a little bit uncomfortable when you're throwing 73 at your hands.
A little bit low. The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City with the action beginning Thursday, May 28th. That's noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the WCWS, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Less than 2 weeks away from the start of everything. 64 teams enter the tournament, only 8 make it to Oklahoma City. That ball is tanked. Deep center field off the bat of Bergeron, and the Louisiana native puts LSU on the board in the second. The final NCAA tournament of Macy Bergeron's outstanding and storied career, staying home to play for LSU. That's quite a way to get it going.
Not having the full season that she wanted to so far this year, saving it all for the postseason, gets all of this pitch, goes down to get it in a ballpark where it's hard to leave the yard. Macy Bergeron does it with ease. LSU up 2-0 early.
241 feet dead central on a day where the wind is blowing straight in from center field.
And it was the first pitch she saw of the at-bat. After Emma Mazzarone issues the walk, Macy comes in ready to go, jumps, knows what she's looking for something hard and down, and gets it and does not miss.
You like that aggressiveness right there from Bergeron.
I do, especially if your plan is, so you're playing against Mazzarone, we're either going to look hard and down or we're going to try to hit the slow stuff that's coming up high in the zone. You can't sit both when somebody's throwing 73. So her plan obviously was to get something down in the zone, looking hard. She gets it. That ball was fully on the plate, right on time. And look at the excitement from the senior. She has been waiting for this moment after coming off an All-American season last year. Kind of slow throughout the year, but this is the time when it matters. This is when your season is on the line. And Macy Bergeron does it early for LSU.
LSU has won 15 of its last 20, perhaps peaking at just the right time for Beth Torina. The story around LSU softball in the postseason hasn't been a positive one as of late. They've been eliminated in regionals 3 of the last 4 years, and last year by Southeast Louisiana before even reaching the regional final. This year it's been a very different story. And quite an improvement, certainly offensively. You score over 7 runs in a game, you give yourself a great chance to win. And in the circle, the emergence of Peyton Monticelli as that de facto closer has been as big a reason as any that they've gone on this tear. Three and one on Char Lorenz, trying to reignite this LSU team after Bergeron detonated one to center. How about another? Fair, it's gone, but it's not.
That was crushed. Exit velocity off the bat, 75 miles per hour, just a little bit out in front. It's hard to be out in front of a pitch that's coming in at 70 miles per hour, but Lorenz did so.
A 3-2 way out of the zone. LSU really hoping to turn it around, looking great so far. You're against Virginia Tech. Last 4 seasons, though, 14 regional hosts have failed to reach supers. LSU twice, once here at this ballpark against Louisiana in 2023, and then last year they didn't make it out either. But that also speaks to the parity that we are seeing in the game of college softball right now, which has only made it explode all across the country. This is a game that has never been better.
Yeah, if you look at what just happened yesterday, 6 walk-offs across the country, FSU falling to Stetson, Clemson with a loss. UCLA just escaped CBU in their first NCAA tournament. I mean, all across the nation, it's just been close games because every team at this point is really, really good.
Mississippi State needed extra innings to get by St. Mary's.
It was an incredible day of softball yesterday, and it keeps elevating each year.
I think what was really interesting, though, is there were upsets galore, but still, no SEC team lost. For the first time ever, a conference went 12-0 in regional openers.
Yeah, just submitting, like, this is the conference to compete with this year.
3-1 now.
I really like the patience that LSU is showing. They've showed it all season working the walks, but even against Mazzarone here, they're not jumping at the hard stuff. They are patient, making Mazzarone throw it in the strike zone.
Little bit upstairs, and now 3 walks in the inning here for Emma Mazzarone, and already Bree Carrico is starting to loosen up in that Virginia Tech bullpen. Back-to-back walks after giving up the home run.
Yeah, that's not the response you wanted to see if you're a Virginia Tech fan, giving up a big 2-run home run and then back-to-back walks. I think Zoe Yeager coming out, having a conversation with Mazzarone. This is good timing here because Mazzarone is, you know, she said it. Sometimes she gets a little amped up, starts trying to throw the ball too hard. That's where she loses her control, just kind of control those emotions in this situation here.
Well, don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals, taking you to the best live action on the 7 Innings live show on the ESPN app. Every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Here's number 9 hitter Avery Hodge. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 1. Hodge came to LSU before last season. Started her career at Oklahoma. Not a bad beginning to your career. You win 2 national championships in as many seasons. Come here to the Tigers. Starting shortstop last year, moved to 3rd this season with the addition of Kylie Edwards from Mississippi State. Pulled the bunt back again. I don't think there's any way you can have the green light here. Take, right?
Yeah, absolutely. After consecutive walks, struggling here, 3 straight balls, I think Mazzarone proved she can throw it in the zone.
3 straight walks. The bases are loaded and still nobody out. The 4th free pass of this 2nd inning for LSU.
And there's still no outs.
And now the question has to be, how long can you stick with Mazzarone in the circle right now?
Yeah, that last pitch, that was close. That was not a bad pitch. You can see some frustration growing from Mazzarone, and I think that's going to be it.
Josh Johnson, the pitching coach for Virginia Tech, is going to take the ball from his southpaw after just 33 pitches. The issue for Mazzarone, question is always, how will she command the zone? And unfortunately, did not have the type of control that she was looking for here with 5 walks. Bree Carrico coming in, or Avery Layton actually. We'll see her after this. Avery Layton enters, one of those really good options for Pete Tamor, the freshman from Rossville, Indiana, who was great in the championship game after Mazzarone's early exit. We might be, I don't know, seeing a carbon copy of that, right, from the ACC tournament final?
Yeah, Avery Layton, not a ton of experience late in the season, but then goes in the championship game against Florida State. She goes 4 innings, just giving up 2 hits, a walk, and a couple strikeouts. She came in, did not throw like a freshman, didn't show any nerves, but this is a much bigger situation here. Bases loaded, no outs.
Jayla Lassiter swings and drives it deep right field. Mizell back, makes the play, spinning around a couple of times. Sac fly, though, off of the bat of Jayla Lassiter. Charlotte Renz makes it a 3-0 LSU lead.
I'm just so impressed with the approach that LSU is having in the box, from their patience to their aggressiveness. When they get a pitch in the zone, first pitch, we saw it with Macy Bergeron, who hit the home run on the first pitch. Now Jayla Lassiter, first pitch of the game for Avery Layton, and drives it to the right side for an RBI.
Here's Sierra Daniels, struck out her first time up. Daniel 3 for 5 so far here in Baton Rouge in the NCAA Regionals. Had 2 doubles, 2 runs scored in yesterday's win. Shallow right field. Mizell on, makes the catch. A start and stop, and that's it. Good throw in from Mizell. And Hutchins has to stay put on third.
A couple nice plays by the freshman in right field. Mizell going back on the prior ball, then having to come in hard to make that catch.
LSU may have started off the scoring, but this is a Virginia Tech team that is ultra confident. They know they can put runs up in a hurry. They can do exactly what Macy Bergeron did earlier on. And they just need to keep this close. Kylie Edwards walked her first time up. That was against Mazzarone. LSU very aggressive. This is a game you know Virginia Tech is not going to be intimidated in, because they've already seen 3 SEC teams. They have won all 6 games that they've played against them this year. And that includes 2 wins at Georgia. And by the way, all 6 of those wins, true road games. Almost got Franklin in the on-deck circle.
About took out 2 Tigers with that pitch. But you mentioned on the road, Virginia Tech only played 13 home games this year. The 6 SEC games, true road games, used to this kind of environment. But
runner on the go, they'll cut it off and just allow Hodge to get down to second. She's in scoring position, but Hutchins doesn't score. What an important pitch coming up from Layton to Edwards. Tomahawked to left. Catch made against the wall. Abramovich hauls it in. Maybe save the game for Virginia Tech.
LSU this close to breaking this game wide open. Defense coming up big again for the Hokies.
We saw one huge upset. Florida State lost to Stetson. Fourth straight season a national seed has lost their regional opener. Now the Noles in Tallahassee have to go through the losers bracket. We talked about the SEC domination on opening day. 8 of those 16 regional hosting sites going to the SEC, and then 16 picking up walk-off wins, as the parity has never been greater in the sport of Division I college softball. We saw Power 4 teams tested all over the country.
Cannot overlook a team anymore.
What about UCLA and Cal Baptist? They had never been in the tournament before, and at Easton Stadium, you're pushing them to the absolute brink.
They were down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jelena Lamar, the daughter of head coach Marissa Young at Duke, came up big with a 2-run shot to tie it up. I mean, that was some late softball, and I couldn't stop watching.
That's the good news from that swung on and fouled back. About noon Eastern time, even 11 a.m. Eastern time, all the way until well past most people's bedtime. You get to watch some of the best softball in the country all across our ESPN family of networks and on the ESPN app. Every game available there as well. It's a day where you don't want to leave the couch.
You shouldn't.
I mean,
you shouldn't.
The only thing about broadcasting these games is that we can't watch the other ones.
That's all right. We've got a good one here.
Gabby Mazzell takes strike 3. Well, both of these teams can check that first box, right? They won the first game of the regional. 97% of teams doing that advance. And then 89% of the ones that win this 1-0 game make it to the Super Regionals. What a massive difference that is, and an advantage that both Virginia Tech and LSU can grab with a win here this afternoon.
Yeah, in terms of managing your bullpen and staffs, trying not to avoid playing a doubleheader. You stay in that winner's bracket, 1 game a day. You don't have to worry about playing 2 games in a day, because you haven't done that since pre-conference back in February, early March. Keeping everybody rested, healthy, at your best, certainly an advantage to be one and done every day.
Nothing in 2 on the Virginia Tech shortstop, Rose. Over to first, and Edwards touches up. 2 away. It is do or die tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Montreal hosting Buffalo. Game 6 of their second-round matchup. Canadiens up 3-2 in the series. Puck drops at the Bell Center, 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. Sabres happy to be back in the playoffs. First time since 2011. An NHL record drought broken for the men from Western New York. Top of the order for the Hokies. Addison Foster demolished one to center field, but with the wind blowing in, held up for Lassiter to make the catch to lead off the game. Foster flies it. Lawrence. And there's out number 3. Still no hits allowed for CC Salora through 3. LSU by 3.
There is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
In a year where there's no clear front runner to hoist that national championship trophy, who will it be? Last year, Texas outlasting Nyjah Kennedy at Texas Tech. Oklahoma, the most recent dominant party. What a job they did. 4 straight in a row. That's a dynasty in Norman. UCLA in 2019 after COVID. And then Florida State, the last ACC team that won. Lonnie Alameda's Seminoles in 2018 with Jesse Warren and company. Is this the year that the ACC finally gets back to the podium? Virginia Tech is hoping so, and they've got a team that could get all the way to Oklahoma City if everything breaks right.
They certainly have all the pieces. They have the offense, the hitting, the defense, but what LSU's been able to do against Mazzarone to start this game showed a ton of patience, executed their plan, and then now bringing in Avery Layton, their plan, you could see it, was be aggressive early, and 2 of the 3 balls that were hit off of Layton when she came in the game were barreled up. Great plays by the outfield. They are a very confident bunch right now and seem very prepared against this pitching staff.
Middle of this LSU order. Alex Franklin takes strike 1. Franklin, Edwards, and Bergeron coming up. Franklin lined into a 6 unassisted double play. Rose did it all herself to get Mazzarone out of a jam in the first, or else they very well could have put runs up in that first inning too. Just 3 in the second. The highlight so far, Macy Bergeron's 2-run blast to dead center. Franklin gets under it on the infield. Chatfield has it in foul ground. Avery Layton throughout this season was more of a third option behind Mazzarone and Carrico. This has really opened up things for Josh Johnson and Pete Demore. Why do you think that she has been so successful late on in this season?
Well, I think that she hammers the zone. She has no problem at throwing the ball, being accurate down in the zone. That pitch right there at the knees. But she's going to be a pitcher that's not going to give up free passes. And sometimes when things are starting to, the floodgates look like they're about to break open, you need a pitcher that can come in and hammer the zone. And that's what Avery Layton's able to do.
I wasn't surprised that it was a little bit of a late start for Avery Layton because she came back in January from being hurt and was a little down, had a month and a half off where she really couldn't train. Her first couple weeks, her innings were more limited. She didn't even travel the second weekend of the year because she had the flu. So to get back to full strength, and then, it's a real process, and sometimes it does take an entire season to build back up to where you were in the fall.
Certainly, and then also you have Emma Mazzarone and Bree Carrico, who were just lights out all season, so trying to find time for innings is going to be difficult. Bree Carrico was the ACC Freshman of the Year. Mazzarone led the ACC as their ace. I mean, it was hard to take them out of the circle, but seeing Avery Layton come up big in the ACC championship game and then back now in postseason.
So Edwards has now run the count full in both of her at-bats. She walked to lead off the second against Mazzarone. And was right on that 3-2 pitch.
Tori Edwards not putting up the numbers that she was last year, but everybody still knows Toria Edwards as a hitter, and she's very a fearful bat in this lineup.
Last year had an All-American season, the 2025 SEC Freshman of the Year. 2024, she had a foot injury. Her season was cut short after just 2 starts, and Beth Traina said last year was just a continuation of what she had started in her first season here in Baton Rouge. Got got her on the payoff. First strikeout of the game for Avery Layton. 2 away here in the third.
How about that battle by Layton and Tori Edwards? Layton starts this at bat off 0-2. Edwards works it full, fouls off some pitches, and then comes in with that pitch on low outside corner. Her accuracy and her precision. Avery Layton, just a freshman, but pitches like a veteran.
Here's Bergeron. Responsible for 2 of LSU's 3 runs on 1 swing of the bat. Her first home run since March 7th.
And it's really been since Bergeron went out with that injury in Game 3 against Arizona, missed 4 games. After that injury, she has come out and just been swinging the bats better than she had all season long. And sometimes when the game gets taken away from you and you get to sit back and watch, it changes your mentality. And you see this one here. This is what she did in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Pitch low in the zone and just hammers it to center field.
Down to the count 1-2 though here to Layton. Yeah, to your point, Brittany, Macy, since coming back from that injury, an OPS of over 1,000. It was just 650 coming in. On-base percentage plus slugging. Really tells you how well-rounded she has been recently. And that just tells you the story. Definitely over 1,000 with that home run at this point. A couple extra base hits, 6 runs driven in. A huge reason that LSU's won 15 of its last 20. Bergeron rips it in the gap in left center field. She'll take a turn but hold right there. She's on with 2 outs. And there's nothing more than what you want to do as a senior, playing potentially your final games at Tiger Park, than show up and show out.
Yeah, I mean, she has the talent to be there, but LSU needs her bat to be big in the lineup. And when it matters most, towards the end of the season, in postseason, Macy Bergeron has been on fire.
Char Lorenz walked and scored her first time up. Bergeron, though, the 2-time Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year, a member of the USA Junior National Team. She was ranked the top recruit in the country coming out of high school. And from nearby Rayne, Louisiana, just a small town outside of Lafayette. She committed in 7th grade, back before the rules changed to that not being possible anymore, having to do that a junior year of high school. Hoping for a storybook finish to her LSU career. She's already on the wall of All-Americans here. And now Layton has lost the zone. Winner goes to the regional final, and then they have to be beaten twice tomorrow to be eliminated. Three balls and a strike on the Louisville transfer. An All-American last year with the Cardinals, Char Lorenz. Hammered to left, and it dunks in front of Abramovich. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs. And a rally for the Tigers in the third.
And this is the MO for the Tigers offense. They're not going to come out and hit a bunch of home runs, even though we did see one earlier, but they're able to string hits together, put the constant pressure on the defense and the pitching staff, manufacturing runs. You know, I just keep thinking back, this game could have gotten out of hand early if it wasn't for the Virginia Tech defense coming up with the big double play in the first inning, then the grab by Abramovich last inning. Here, LSU threatening again with runners at first and second, 2 outs. Defense has got to be ready again.
Well, here in Baton Rouge in our 1-0 game, Virginia Tech battling LSU. Then we have our first elimination game of the regional. 3:30 Eastern, it'll be South Alabama, a couple of tournament champions. Then out of the Sun Belt, Akron from the Mid-American Conference. One of those two teams will have to say goodbye. Their season will be over, and then whoever falls in this one between the Hokies and Tigers will play the winner of that elimination game right after this. So far for Avery Layton in 1 2/3 has given up just these 2 hits to Bergeron and Lorenz. And just needs one more out, though, to get out of this bottom of the third unscathed. And Sophie Kleiman is the pitcher that is now warming here, who has not been used very recently. Hasn't pitched since May 3rd and only 5 appearances for the Indiana transfer in ACC play. You have to wonder, Brittany, does that say something about the status of Bree Carrigan?
You know, we did see her pitch yesterday. She went the complete game, but, you know, she wasn't as sharp as she had been all season long, but she was good enough to go yesterday.
She left the semifinal win against Duke for Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament. But you're absolutely right. She threw the first 4 innings, limiting South Alabama to 2 hits and no runs. I wonder if Hutchins is going to want that one back.
Oh, that was pretty sweet. But Layton had been falling behind the past couple batters. The conversation was there, hey, let's get back to the strike zone. Let's let our defense play.
We'll check down to first, but Jim Cooper says that Hutchins did not go around. One of the members of a newcomer class of 11, the most that Beth Torina has had in her career. It's full.
See Zoe Egger trying to get the ball from the umpire, but he wanted to show off his arm.
I'll take it myself. Thank you very much.
As a catcher, that used to drive me nuts. Drive me absolutely nuts. That's my pitcher. I throw her the ball back.
Another payoff on the way. Will that give Yeager a chance? It will not. This inning started innocuously enough. A pop out by Franklin, strikeout swinging at Tori Edwards, and back-to-back hits to Bergeron and Lorenz, as LSU threatening to add to that 3-0 lead. Avery Hodge on deck.
Good battle by Hutchins, too. Worked a full count. He's protecting the zone, fouling off a couple pitches, fouling that one straight back. It's telling me she's seeing the ball well.
31st pitch of the inning. Strike 3. Hutchins down looking. Avery Layton gets out of a jam here in the third. They're trailing 3-0. Talk to Pete DeMore after this. Virginia Tech trailing LSU as we go to the top of the fourth at Tiger Park, joined by the Hokies head coach Pete Demore. Pete, Emma Mazzarone starts this one. The trouble with her control, you decide to bring Avery Layton in after her. What led to that decision?
Yeah, Maz wasn't that sharp today, which is fine, and just stop the bleeding with Avery, and she's been throwing well lately, so let's keep them at 3 and see if our offense can take over.
Coach, saw you talking to your offense as they came off the field. Second time through the lineup, what do you want to see from your hitters?
Yeah, just be more on time. I think we're seeing the ball well. We're just a little bit late. So sell out and get the ball out front and see what happens.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Coach. Always appreciate the time.
You're welcome. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, indeed. I know that's one of your favorite. Every coach, of course, they always have their saying afterward when we do these interviews.
I think his is more sarcastic, kind of poking fun at the taglines, if you will.
Virginia Tech is going to have 2, 3, and 4 coming up here, and a good opportunity to get some runs back, but they need to get to CC Salora.
Yeah, I like what he said there. Just be more on time and sell out. Virginia Tech is not known for having defensive swings. They're known for taking control over at bats, and if they can get on time and sell out to their plan, good things will happen.
First pitch swinging. Edwards with a beauty, but she'll have no play on Lynch. I mean, just to snag that was enough.
Kylie Edwards at shortstop. She's always been known for being able to make these fantastic plays, and this one is harder. I mean, it looks hard, but she to grab that mid hop, not the short hop or the long hop, field it cleanly, but just speed down the line. And Virginia Tech has her first hit.
Rachel Castine swings at the first pitch, deep center. To her left, Lassiter with no issues gliding over. So both hitters right now for Virginia Tech here in the fourth have swung at the first pitch. Jordan Lynch has swung at the first pitch in both at-bats. She'll be on first with 1 out for Kylie Aldridge. And wouldn't they love another video board breaker here in this fourth inning? Fouled out to the left fielder, Lorenz, her first time up. 2 for 4 here in the regional. Went to the off speed that time and found the zone for strike 1. Good mix so far from Salora that has been keeping Virginia Tech off balance. Only base runner before that infield single reached on an error. That is hit hard up the box, but there's Kylie Edwards. 6-3 it goes. LSU back in the dugout. A 6-pitch inning for CC Salora.
The defense, after Virginia Tech gets their first hit of the game, Kylie Edwards takes it herself for the double play.
Welcome back to NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. A 3-0 lead for LSU here at Tiger Park as they battle Virginia Tech, joined by the Tigers head coach Beth Torina. Beth, you have a lot of options in the circle. You went with the San Diego State transfer, CC Salora. So far, so good. What made you make that decision?
Just thought she's been in this spot before. She's super competitive. We like what we get from her, and I thought, we had a good matchup option too, but I'm confident in our whole staff. I think that some of what makes us great is our depth, but CC is as competitive as anybody we got over here, so I like where we're at.
Coach Macy had the big home run. Talk about her impact late in the season, now into the postseason.
Man, I'd love to talk about Macy. Thanks for asking me. She's just the ultimate Tiger, like just through and through. Was born into the purple and gold and has just been such a great, great player in person and just representative of this program her entire career. So we're so proud of Macy and so cool for her to hit that ball today.
Absolutely, Coach. Thanks so much for the time, as always.
Thank you.
Winner goes to the regional final. It is a driver's seat type situation. You win, and all you have to do is win one more time. You could play only 3 games, 1 per day here at regionals, and make it into supers. Then you got to win 2 or 3. Then it's a series against one team. It's almost like preparing for a super regional is easier in some ways than preparing for a regional, because you just never know who you're going to see and how it's going to go. Albeit, of course, caveat, your super regional opponent is going to be one of the best teams in the country.
It really is. And this is one of the best days of softball the whole season, the Saturday of regionals. And it's also bittersweet, too, because 32 teams out of the 64 seasons in today. So much great softball around the country.
LSU is the 16 national seed, which means in the super regionals they would match up with the Tuscaloosa regional, whoever comes out of that. Alabama, the #1 overall seed this season. Well-deserved and well-earned by SEC Coach of the Year Patrick Murphy and the Crimson Tide. They didn't have any issues with USC Upstate yesterday with a run rule win.
And they're off to a good start right now against Belmont. First inning up 2-0 with Maya Johnson in the circle for Belmont.
This is a tough play here for Castine. She makes it beautifully. Just in time to nab Avery Hodge.
We saw Castine make that exact same play yesterday, recognizing the speed down the line, not enough time to get it out of the glove. And just fantastic glove work. Comes in hard, flips it over to first base to get the speedy Hodge.
Jayla Lassiter 1 for 1, as well as a sac fly. She looks at a pitch up and away to start things off here against Layton. She swung at the first pitch in her first 2 at-bats. Also a single to lead things off for the Tigers in the first. And what a day for Jayla Lassiter. Not only contributing to this Tigers lead, but she graduated today and walked during commencement in her uniform. And that,
I love
her degree in sociology.
So
Congratulations to Jayla.
You want to walk in your uniform?
I wonder if she got right out of the ceremony and then met up with the team in the clubhouse.
Just missing the eye black.
Yeah, she didn't go with the face paint. You know, with all the different colors now, can we even call it eye black anymore?
I mean, I don't know if it serves the purpose of eye black.
Eye purple?
But, you know, it might help with the sun.
We don't know for sure. 3-1. Off the end of the bat, left field, Abramovich with a shoestring catch. She has been busy out there in left field.
Making some great plays, too. This play's a lot harder. That ball's dying right there. Shoestring grab. The defense for Virginia Tech, one of the best Pete DeMoore's ever had, and they are showing up in a big way today.
Here's Sierra Daniel, the hottest hitter right now for LSU, looking for her first knock of the day. And she comes in, extending her hit streak to 8 games yesterday, 14 for 28 in that stretch. 10 runs scored. Two and one to the LSU second baseman. Way upstairs.
Sierra Daniel moving her feet through the box, looking to slap there. She's a triple threat. She can drop a bunt, she can slap, she can hit for power.
Should get a good pitch to hit here on 3-1. And she lets it go by for strike 2. That is not going to endear Gilzeas behind the plate to any of the LSU fans in green and gold here at Tiger Park. Let's have a payoff. One host team in a little bit of trouble right now. Arizona beating the number 12 overall seed Duke 4-1 in Durham. That's in the top of the 4th. But not much of a surprise. Arizona, kind of an up and down season, certainly not one that they are used to having. They're used to hosting, to be honest with you, and having to go all the way across the country, but playing well right now.
Yeah, I expect that game to have a few more runs added to it as it moves along. Both teams very offensively driven, power numbers. Their weaknesses for both teams are in the circle. A little low scoring for me right now, but let's check back in a little bit.
That's right. Why don't we put a pin in that one? Kylie Edwards now. Offers at first, and that is up on top of the roof. Two-way national star Jordy Fromm and the number 4 seed Nebraska having big issues with Grand Canyon. What a season. 53-8. Right now, both teams have just a single hit apiece. Nobody scored yet.
And the atmosphere in Lincoln, though, right now is one of the tops. They've been waiting to host a regional for a while, and you know how the fans show up for their sports, and at Nebraska certainly did yesterday.
1-1 on Edwards. Fair down the left field line. Here comes Daniel around second. She'll get the go-ahead. Coming home, stumbles and scores anyway. A 2-out ribby double for Edwards. 4-0 Tigers here in the 4th.
Kylie Edwards, just an extra base machine, gets this ball off the plate inside, but keeps it fair by staying inside the ball. But the speed of Sierra Daniel getting the green light, even stumbling down the line with Chris Berman, rumbling, stumbling, bumbling home.
Virginia Tech is challenging
LSU
at the runner left
getting
early
another
at first base. This call is under further review.
Stand by.
So did Sierra Daniel leave early at first base? That is what our crew chief, Chad Steers, is going to talk to Pittsburgh about, the NCAA Command Center, and try to figure out what a huge call this is as LSU tacks one on in the 4th.
Reminder, you cannot leave the base until the ball is out of the hand. Ball out of the hand.
Still on the
foot
base.
Still on the base. They're showing it on the video board here. LSU fans recognize that they're going to keep that run on the board.
This is probably our best look right here. Ball's out,
No doubt.
foot's on.
You see the fans clapping, celebrating, just waiting for official word from Pittsburgh, where the replay command center is making the call.
We expect this to be a call that stands on the field. Actually, expecting it to be confirmed. Strongest language possible. And it should be LSU 4, Virginia Tech nothing, with Alex Franklin coming up to the plate. Call on the field is that she left on time.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner did not leave early, safe. That is Virginia Tech's first challenge. They have one remaining.
So each team has now used one of their 2 challenges. Neither won their challenges, so they only have one more remaining. And now it'll be up to Alex Franklin to try to continue this little 2-out rally they got going.
And that's the 3rd walk that has come around to score for LSU. What about taking advantage of your opportunities?
6 walks in the game here by Virginia Tech pitching. If there is a recipe for beating LSU, a team that is so deep and that doesn't necessarily need to leave the yard to beat you, limiting free passes is at the very top.
That's up there. It certainly is, but LSU makes it hard because they're patient. They have great awareness.
It's got away for a moment. Enough time for Edwards to swipe third. See if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch. Wild pitch on Layton. Edwards just 60 feet away. And Franklin with a one-hopper back to Layton. No issues for the Virginia Tech arm. Edwards stranded at third, but she brings in Sierra Daniel. Lead increased to 4 here in Tiger Park. Well, so far here is what we have seen. CC Salora in the circle has limited this Virginia Tech offense to just one hit. And then Macy Bergeron sending one out to deep center field to start off the scoring. Made it 2-0 in the second. They have since added on 2 more. Emma Mazzarone really struggled with her command. 5 walks in 1+ innings, giving up those 3 runs. And Virginia Tech just 1 hit through 4, not something we have seen throughout the year. It's a good cushion, but we know what Virginia Tech can do at the plate. And they are very much still in this game. Chatfield, Abramovich, and Yeager coming up, 5, 6, and 7 in Pete Demore's lineup against CC Salora now into her 5th inning of work.
I've just really been impressed with the approach that LSU has at the plate. It's one thing to have a plan against a pitching staff, but it's another thing to execute it. Like, they executed being patient against Mazzarone. They knew to be aggressive off of Layton. It's one thing to watch the film and your coach is telling you, hey, this is how you can have the most success, but then really committing to that plan and executing, and that's what LSU has done today.
Give a lot of credit there to assistant coach Bryce Neal. Works with the hitters previously at Louisville for 2 seasons before now in year number 3 here in Baton Rouge. He develops the plan and then the players execute it, but clearly they are very much in sync. Right back through the box. Hardest ball that we maybe seen hit today is Michelle Chatfield rips it up the middle. 77 miles an hour off the bat. Something that Virginia Tech does better than pretty much anybody in the country. They swing hard and they make good contact.
Yeah, that's their mindset. They just want to get a good pitch and hit it hard. They have over 100 home runs on the season. Pete Demore says it's not necessarily us wanting to get up there and hit home runs. We just want to hit the ball hard, and that ball was smoked. We've seen a couple barrels. Last inning was a 1-2-3 inning, but there were some hard hit balls, and now starting this one off, the line drive right back up the middle.
First one that has made it out of the infield for a hit for Virginia Tech was just Jordan Lynch's infield single to the shortstop Edwards in the 4th, the only hit that had been given up. Leadoff is on for the 2nd straight inning now here for Virginia Tech. And on the inside corner, Abramovich takes strike 1. Well, this is why Virginia Tech is never out of a game. 107 home runs came into the NCAA tournament, 5th in the country. But this is on the infield. In the middle, Sierra Daniel, 1 away.
That's a great pitch by Salora. As the hitters make adjustments to her, we can see her making the adjustment to the hitters. Has been down in the zone most of the game, but this pitch up and in on the hand, 69 miles per hour, giving a different look second time through the lineup.
And a carbon copy of how Salora attacked Abramovich in her first at bat when she popped up to Daniel. Yeager hit it hard her first time up. Line drive to the right side, but speared by Edwards, which ended the 2nd inning. Hit her 10th home run in yesterday's game. A solo Yeager bomb on the way to a 6-0 win over the Sun Belt champion South Alabama Jaguars.
And you can see when we talked to Pete Demore between innings, he mentioned the team just a little late. And I think you're seeing that right here with Yeager. Getting a couple foul balls off the handle of the bat, just behind the velocity.
She will just stay alive. First of 3 games today. Every site plays 3 games today. 48 times we are going to see the first pitch of a softball game here on Elimination Saturday. Edwards to her right, only plays to first, and she makes it. Two away, Chatfield's into scoring position.
Just another great play by Kylie Edwards. That ball was deep in the hole, sets her feet, fires across to get an out.
Gabby Mazzell with an opportunity, one of the 2 strikeout victims so far against CC Salora, as the Hokies have one in scoring position for the first time today. Aggressive early on.
Still late, still late.
The freshman Mazzell in her first NCAA tournament trying to put a jolt into this Hokies offense. Wake them up here in an early Saturday start. You can see on that pitch, I mean, stepping in the bucket, had no chance to hit that ball in the outside part of the plate hard.
And they're just trying to, adjust the body to clear her hands to get them out in front. Then Salora goes on the outer half.
Where did she go here on 0-2?
Going back out, staying hard.
Hard shot. There's Hodge across to Edwards. Chatfield gets into scoring position, but she's stranded right there. LSU well on its way to the 1-0 game. Still a little bit left. It's only one game, but the implications of winning this one for Virginia Tech and LSU are massive. 89% of the teams that start 2-0 get to supers. 284-320 since the format changed in 2005. Because if you win this one, you only have to win one tomorrow. Whoever gets through the elimination bracket, having to play another game tonight, by the way, has to win 2 more tomorrow against the 1-0 winner. That was Lila Blackwell, who checks in to left field. Defensive replacement, just like we saw yesterday, and we've seen routinely throughout the season. Blackwell for Abramovich in the outfield. LSU trying to add on to a 4-0 lead. It is certainly not comfortable yet for the Tigers. 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth. Edwards jammed. Opportunity for Rose, and she fires it over to Chatfield. Don't miss the NWSL Sunday night. It's Portland taking on Angel City. Kickoff set for 6 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Great start for the Thorns. Second in the table right now, 2 points behind the San Diego Wave. And that is one of the better places to watch a soccer match here in the country. Exciting summer of soccer with the World Cup coming up. Hosted by Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Foul down the left side. It'll dovetail perfectly from the Women's College World Series.
Well, give me something else to watch. There's always that depression when the season ends, when softball season ends, but we got a lot of softball between now and then.
And we've also got a USL.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming up.
Right. Some golden tickets handed out this year.
A couple new teams added. Should be better than ever with plenty of games here on the ESPN family of networks. Some of the best softball that you are going to see. Definitely pro softball throughout the world. Ball and 2 strikes. Here on Macy Bergeron, left the order first time up. And Bergeron promptly delivers to left down the line. Stays fair, just a long single. Macy Bergeron 3 for 3.
I mean, she has just been on fire late in the season, and especially today. They're trying everything they can, throwing in all different quadrants. This one up and in. Her barrel cannot miss the ball. This one just sneaks inside the line. A long leadoff single that got to the outfield wall in a hurry.
Pinch runner for LSU, it's Destiny Harris coming in. 1 out and 1 on. And here is Char Lorenz. Yet to be sent back to the dugout all tournament long. What a boost she's been at the bottom of the lineup this year, coming over from Louisville after an All-American season. Lorenz has walked 3 times in these 2 games so far, and she's got 2 hits. Just 6 outs remaining for Virginia Tech at the plate. They've got the 9-1 and 2 hitters coming up. Last time through the order potentially for the Hokies. Hard hit, Lynch, Castine 1, first. Took Chatfield off the bag. Get the lead runner, 5-4.
Just making good defensive plays here, but enough speed down the line to prevent this from being a double play, another double play from Virginia Tech.
Might have had her, but would have been really close there. Now Allie Hutchins.
You're really holding that one for an extra beat behind the plate.
We've seen once you get into postseason, those zones really do shrink a little bit. Drive, center field. What a catch right against the wall. Foster robbed an extra base hit and ends the 5th.
The outfield play for the Hokies has been phenomenal. None better than this catch by Addison Foster, preventing another run for the Tigers.
NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Packed house at Tiger Park. They've been pretty happy so far for the purple and gold. 3 in the second. 2 coming on that Macy Badger 2-run homer. She's 3 for 3 in this game. Tacked on 1 more in the 4th with a 2-out RBI double off the bat of Kylie Edwards to score Sierra Daniel. As we play on in the top half of the 6th inning, the winner goes directly to the regional final. And then all they'll have to do is win once tomorrow. And they are heading to the Supers and still alive. Annika Rose starts it off 9-1-2 in Pete Demore's order against CC Solora, who has limited this offense to just 2 hits so far. Mind you, Virginia Tech is a team that averages about 8 runs per game. They've had 107 home runs this year. And every starter but Rose at the plate is hitting 300 or better. And CC Solora has given up 2 hits, that is.
And she hasn't walked a batter, not giving up a free pass, attacking the zone, competitive pitches. And the velocity has really been a problem for Virginia Tech. A lot of balls off the handle, not squared up, but falling behind here.
And there is her first free pass. And that is not the one you want to offer it to, because now the lineup turns over to Foster, Lynch, Castine, and Aldridge. Still a pretty good line right there. We know that Solora has all of his postseason experience that she brings, coming over from San Diego State. Led the Aztecs to back-to-back Mountain West tournament titles. So she knows what it's like to pitch in regionals. Foster does indeed offer to even now make it an 0-2 count. Couple of flyouts so far for the Virginia Tech leadoff hitter. Reaches out down the left field line. There's Lorenz, makes the play. This has been defense worthy of 2 outstanding ball clubs fighting for a regional final berth.
I mean, LSU is known for their outfield play. AJ Andrews, Aaliyah Andrews, but now Edwards making a great, Lorenz. Charlotte Lorenz making a great grab at the wall, picking up her pitcher after the leadoff walk.
Jordan Lynch. Maybe the last at bat she gets here in this game for the All-ACC first teamer for the first time this year. Still sitting on the single season doubles record, tied 18 on the season. That's how many she had last year, so she's looking to break her own record. Infield single her last time up. Can she meet the moment with her team down 4? Edwards flips, Daniel not in time to double her up. And we have just not seen the best that Jordan Lynch has to offer here this weekend. And there's 2 away, still runner on first. Still with 1 swing of the bat, Rachel Castine, who was moved from the 6-hole to the 3-hole today, has a chance to cut this deficit in half. Rachel has 5 home runs in the last 7 games. Oh, and 2. I feel like throughout the year, CC Salora has been waiting for this moment. You go to a team like LSU because you know that you have a chance to advance far in the postseason. And this is just the start. Got her on the outside corner looking. CC Salora, the silencer of the Hokies, here against Virginia Tech.
She has taken this potent offense and has silenced them through 6 innings. CC Salora saying goodbye to the Hokies.
Work our way through the Baton Rouge, Louisiana bracket. Right now, LSU on top of Virginia Tech 4-0. That's the 1-0 game. First at 3 today, followed up by our first elimination game, South Alabama and Akron. And then whoever wins that one will play the loser of this between LSU and Virginia Tech for the final spot in the regional final. A long and full day of softball coming your way from all 16 regional sites. Unfortunately, though, the worst part of the NCAA tournament is that we start to say goodbye to teams today. Only one will make it out. 16 teams playing at 8 super regional sites, and then it will be the 8 that get to Oklahoma City for a chance to win a national championship. Avery Hodge leads off for LSU. Quad advantage looking safe at the moment because CC Salora has been flat out dominant. In the circle, LSU could not have asked for anything better. Jaden Heavner against Akron, 6 shutout innings, limiting the Zips to just 3 hits. 11 strikeouts, tying her season high, and now CC Salora limiting the Hokies to just 2 hits through 6 innings.
I will say on the other side, though, too, Avery Layton coming in relief has done a great job. A freshman, her first postseason, just 1 earned run. Scattered a few hits, but has come in and really slammed the door, stopped the bleeding at least.
Make sure you don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals, taking you the best live action on the 7 Innings Live show on the ESPN app. You can see every game, every big moment on that road to the Women's College World Series only on the ESPN networks. And there is a whole lot of softball to watch today, so make sure that you head over to 7 Innings Live after this one, or pull it up alongside. Today is a day, though, yes, you could have 7 Innings Live on. You're still going to miss so much. You need to have multiple screens.
I was just thinking the same thing. An iPad, a TV, whatever you have, a laptop.
Double TVs, why not? Jayla Lassiter pounds it into the ground. Lynch has to be quick, just in time to get the speedy lead off. Productive out, though, for LSU as Hodge advances into scoring position. Now Virginia Tech just has to keep this at 4 going into the top half of the 7th inning. They will have 4, 5, and 6 due up. And as long as you keep it at 4, you give yourself a chance to tie the game with one swing of the bat. Strikeout and a flyout for Daniel. A walk and a run scored her last time up in the 4th, but she is in danger of losing her 8-game hitting streak here. Four straight outside the zone. So 2 walks in the last 3 hitters here by Layton.
It looks like Layton losing a little steam in the circle as pitches just falling off as they get to the plate, falling out of the strike zone.
82 pitches so far by the Virginia Tech right-hander, and now Kylie Edwards. Gets away from Yeager. Both runners advance. Could that wild pitch be costly? Alex Perlman, former All-ACC catcher at North Carolina, Brittany McKinney with you. So glad that you joined us here as LSU and Virginia Tech battle for a spot in the regional final. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out here for the Tigers as they look to, again, the narrative coming into this postseason is that this is a team that has struggled at this route. I mean, been eliminated in regionals 3 of the last 4 years. And last season by the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana before even getting to the regional final. So far, that has not been the case. Beth Torina has tried to bulletproof them from these types of situations. This deep lineup has certainly been a reason. They just come at you from all angles, putting good at-bats together, battling.
You know, their patience has just been outstanding this game, forcing pitchers to bring the ball in the zone.
And now Layton has lost the zone.
The last time Layton threw 7 innings, and she came in the 2nd this game, was back in February 6th. So, you know, that fatigue will start to set in if you're not used to throwing this many pitches, and the first sign of that is loss of control.
3-0, spots it on the inside corner.
With 2nd and 3rd, this situation and the way Kylie Edwards has been swinging the bat, even though behind 3-1 now, I wouldn't give anything too sweet. She is hot.
First base is open with Alex Franklin on deck. Up the middle, past the glove of Rose. 1 run scores, and here comes Daniel. She's going to hold. thought that she was going to get the go-ahead, but smartly stopped up, and Kylie Edwards has her second hit of the day.
And again, another free pass that has come around to score for LSU. 4 of their 5 runs that have touched home plate have been on base because of a walk. Kylie Edwards just squeaks this by Rose at shortstop, but the infield was pulled in because they wanted to prevent another run for LSU, not giving the range that Rose usually has. And LSU put some more insurance up in the bottom of the 6th, but still runners second and third, just 1 out, and Virginia Tech's going to go to the bullpen.
That'll do it here for Avery Layton as she exits with 1 out, second and third. Here against this potent LSU team who is still threatening. It's going to be Sophie Kleiman, the Indiana transfer, in the circle when we come back to Baton Rouge. Pete DeMore deciding to go with Sophie Kleiman in the circle. The senior who hasn't pitched since May 3rd. Only 5 appearances for her in ACC play. And what a spot she comes in with the game on the line. LSU already with a run in, 1 out, and runners on second and third. She deals with Alex Franklin. And now 1-1. And the one thing to keep in mind with the run rule in effect, Alex Franklin leaves the yard and this game is over. 8 runs after 5 innings is the rule. So this could escalate very quickly. I mean, we talk about a 4-0 game with a chance of 1 swing of the bat for Virginia Tech in the 7th to tie it up. They might not even get to the top of the 7th at this point.
The infield's pulled in too.
2-1, hard hit off of Rose's glove. Another run in for LSU. And Franklin takes second at that. Just stabbing the knife a little bit deeper and twisting. With 1 out, the winning run's on second base.
This ball smoked off the bat of Franklin right at great shortstop Rose, but she's playing in so close, not much time to react, can't get in front of it, just off the heel of her glove. And LSU's just putting barrel on the ball.
Tori Edwards, base hit wins it. LSU looking for its second 6-inning run rule of the tournament. They beat Akron 8-0 yesterday. And that was the swing that tried to end it. The swing of all swings right there. The 2025 SEC Freshman of the Year. Edwards down to the count 1-2. Edwards hammers it opposite way. Mizell underneath makes the play. Both runners tag, throw to third. A little bit late. The winning run's on third now. Sacrifice fly off the bat of Edwards.
I mean, every at-bat from LSU has been a competitive at-bat. They've worked the free passes. They've had productive at-bats, a sacrifice fly there to score another run, move a runner to third base. And they have not had a wasted at-bat all game.
Here is Macy Bergeron. Take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. What Macy Bergeron has done at the plate so far today. And if you were Frost or Wordsworth himself, he couldn't write a better, more poetic ending for Macy Bergeron to walk off Virginia Tech right here. But the 3-0 count now against the LSU catcher, with Char Lorenz on deck, who is yet to be retired this weekend. They haven't retired Bergeron either. But that runner is meaningless at the moment. The only one that matters is on third base in the form of Alex Franklin. One more run for LSU, and they are on to the regional final. Lorenz went. Strike one. Virginia Tech has yet to be run ruled this season. They haven't been shut out since May 2025.
You know, this is not the expectation the Hokies had coming into this game by any means, being on the verge of possible run rule. Haven't put a run up through 6 innings. But it's postseason, right? Anything can happen. Who gets hot at the right time? And I'm telling you, LSU is playing their best ball. You think back to February, that rough start started 0-5 in the SEC play. 11 newcomers finally coming together when it matters most for the Tigers.
1-2. Outside. Now the count runs full. Allie Hutchins standing on deck. What a spot for Sophie Kleiman to have to come into, trying to just preserve this game and give the Hokies a chance in the 7th. 3-2 into left. They won't get that opportunity. Char Lorenz walks off Virginia Tech, and LSU's on to the regional final.
I mean, everything was working right for LSU, from CeCe Salora in the circle, shutting out Virginia Tech, just allowing the 2 hits. Up and down the hitting lineup, LSU had production from every spot in their order, and then the defense behind Salora was lights out. LSU could not have written a better game plan and execution than what we saw today against Virginia Tech.
So behind CeCe Salora's first career shutout, Virginia Tech falls, and they are now into the second elimination game. LSU moves on. The number 16 national seed and hosts will play Sunday 2 Eastern in the regional final. Which of these 3 teams, South Alabama, Akron, and Virginia Tech, will join them? That is what we will decide the rest of the day here in Baton Rouge. Thank you so much for joining us with Brittany McKinney for our fantastic crew. I'm Alex Perlman saying so long from Tiger Park. Keep it here on ESPN2. More softball regional action. Texas Tech and Ole Miss. Tiffany Green, Aaron Miller, it's all yours.